redo this. Copy link. Hang on a
If you
minute.
can't go the speed limit, get off the interstate. Yes, it's raining, but it's not raining that bad. Want to see?
Sorry, had to do up.
Did
I
you
had
see the
to.
rain?
No, I didn't.
Now look.
Oh damn! Yeah, it's not bad here.
I hear your co-driver. Yeah, it ain't bad at all there.
All right, there we go.
Your co-driver's talking. Frankie.
Frank, quit barking. Damn dog. That's not competing for me.
No.
Alrighty. Alrighty. Mm. Alrighty.
Flip your camera back around.
I am. Today we have a special guest in the passenger seat, Justin Horvath,
Hello.
which is currently driving. Justin is my youngest brother, and this is our very first guest. So, Justin, introduce yourself to
I'm
the
Justin
audience.
Horvath, Richard's youngest brother. I'm also a truck driver. 18 years now.
Not technically 18, because I'm going on 19, so you're more like, what, 17 and a half, really. Yeah, I started when I was 21 and stuff, so. But Shane, he's not even in the same category. Alrighty. He's a truck driver wannabe. He was a truck driver, couldn't handle it, washed out, but his wife is his income, and she makes 4 figures, or what, 6 figures or whatever. So he really
Don't
doesn't
get
have
me
to work if
lying.
he doesn't want to. So,
He
but
does
she's
that
also
hotshot
in the
trucking now.
military. Well, yeah, it's the truck driver wannabe shit, I mean,
Hauling them campers.
yeah, he downgraded. So, so Justin, alrighty. How did you get into trucking?
Well, like you, I was born into it. Our father is a truck driver. That is how I originally got into the industry.
Yeah, yeah. Summers on the road with the old man,
Oh, yeah.
helping strapping tarp loads and all that good shit. Oh yeah. So you
Been
could say we're
to most
generational
every state
drivers.
except, um, or no, what?
Alaska and Hawaii.
Washington and Maine. I hadn't been to until I started driving truck myself. And of course, Hawaii.
Yeah. So, was trucking something you always wanted to do?
No. I like going with dad and everything, but I couldn't see myself doing it as a career. So when I graduated
Why?
high school, I had went to welding school, and I was wanting to be a welder, even a traveling welder. But in 2008, when I graduated high school, of course I did a dual course, college and high school, my junior and senior year of high
I did.
school.
I did that same class. I just
Yes,
did
but
1 year of it.
I did the 2 year course instead of just 1 year of it. And when I graduated, the economy had taken a dump, and I could not find a welding job to save my life. I tried multiple places, and I kept getting the same answer. Well, if you don't have experience, we're not hiring. So the last company I tried to, I kind of blew up at them. I was like, if I can't get experience, the only experience I have, how the fuck do you expect me to get experience if none of you places will hire me?
Yeah, what'd he
And so
say?
I said, screw it. So I said, screw it, and went and got my CDL. They didn't really say nothing about it. They're like, well, it's not our problem.
Okay. So, what was your first trucking job?
I, first trucking job, I was 18 or almost 19. I worked for a little company called Russell Green out of Industry, Illinois. I wasn't over the road. I was local because I was too young. I was hauling grain for, I believe it was a year and a half, almost 2 years until I turned 21.
Did you like that job?
Yeah, it was a good job for my first job. I was bringing home, I was on salary, so it was 550 every week
Okay. What kind of truck did you
until
drive?
until I come harvest time. Then of course it went by the load. My first truck that I ever drove was a
Okay.
day cab international,
Day Cab
pulling the old
International.
old hopper bottoms.
What kind of hopper bottoms did you pull?
I hauled a Wilson hopper
Did you
bottom.
like the Wilson?
I did like the Wilson. There's a lot of people that like them, and there's a lot of people that don't. They're more fans of that Tempe trailer. I personally didn't really care for the Tempe because of the design of it. I thought that the Wilson trailer was more user friendly.
Okay. Uh, what was trucking like when you started?
Well, when I started back in 2008, there was nothing called an electric logbook that was mandated by the government. We still had the paper logs.
Those were
And
that we didn't have paper. We had paper logs and no GPSs back then.
right, we also had food in truck stops. We actually had restaurants instead of these fast food crap that we have nowadays. And I'm not a big fan of all the fast food. I'd rather have a sit down, eat restaurant.
I do like the fact that the Petros and the TAs are starting to put these Black Bear diners in. They're more of a sit down restaurant and stuff like that.
Also, you could call me racist, whatever you want. I don't care. We didn't have all the Muslims, all the Indians, none of that. We didn't have all of them when I first started driving. Yeah, of course, the ragheads were here. I believe they've been here, what, since the 80s or 90s?
Something like that, but
Driving
they weren't
truck?
as many as there are now.
Right. And they they drive like shit. They want to sit here, you're sitting there passing them, and they speed up on you to pass, so you can't pass them.
Yeah, and they think that's funny. I had one, and he was sitting there laughing until I damn near ran. Well, can't say damn near I wanted to, but yeah, he was a piece of shit. I really wanted to run him off the road. I was thinking about it, but I finally found a slower vehicle and put him in behind him and was able to get past him and shit.
Yeah. Well, from what I found out from
Yeah,
our brother when he went over to Europe, their trucks are only governed at, what do you say, 55, 57, something like that?
57, yeah, because that's all they can go, and
Well, no wonder they're driving like such retards over here, is because they actually have trucks that can go fast, especially
I
when they
know.
buy them, because
Now I I will say a lot of European trucks might be a little bit more powerful than ours, or at least within the same range, but it's that speed that they really like. So, what was your biggest mistake that you made early on? Not being patient.
I was younger.
Yes, you did, and you got
I
lots of
I
tickets.
actually, which I did get a lot of tickets, but I slowed down before I lost my license, and then I got pulled over working for a guy that had very shitty equipment. And when I got pulled over hauling for him, I had gotten another ticket when I wasn't supposed to get any tickets, which that put me out for a whole year driving truck. I lost my CDL, or my CDL got suspended, but I still worked in the industry. I was just inside of a facility. I was inside a Caterpillar moving trailers all day. So I never left the
I
industry.
bet
I just
that.
had to change what I was doing for a year.
I bet that sucked.
It was an experience, that's for sure. You got to watch a lot of crazy stuff happen at Caterpillar.
I bet.
I was at the
Who
I
taught
was at
you
the
the
dozer
most?
plant.
What? Okay. Oh yeah, there in East Peoria. Now, when I worked for G&D, I used to run in and out of that plant and shit as well and stuff. So I know what
Yep.
you're talking about.
It was kind of cool working there
Um,
though, because you got to see all the different dozers come out right after they got
I've never,
assembled. That was pretty cool.
I've never, I've never watched a dozer roll out of the assembly line, but I've always seen them sitting outside the door there. With no
Yeah.
cabs on them or anything. So,
Yep.
and then just on the west side of the building there, you see all of them sitting, uh, lined
Right.
up, ready to be shipped out and stuff. Who taught you the most about being a truck driver?
I'd have to say that was our dad.
Yeah, I think riding with Dad taught us how to drive in general because even in high school, you would our teachers and stuff was saying, "Man, you're really good." And I'm pretty sure I don't know about you, but I know I was at the top of my CDL class as well. I was like 110% or some shit like that.
I know that we only had to do the backing test once, the road test once, and all that because, like saying, we went with dad as kids, and it just kind of come natural.
Now I had an extra part that you did, and I had to take the SPE waiver, and that was a pain in the ass itself, which caused me to take and do the SPE portion over. But once I got that, and they act like if you don't have both hands on the wheel, you lost control. That's complete and utter bullshit. I drive one-handed all the time. I don't use my prosthetic drive whatsoever. And I know a lot of guys out there that only use one-handed drive anyway. So this
That's all I'm
bullshit
using,
narrative that you
one
got
hand.
this bullshit narrative that you gotta have both hands on the wheel is utter bullshit and stuff. And
Right.
but I don't know what have you seen in your career? I mean, what is one thing that stuck with you, or I say, what is some of the memorable stuff that you've seen or done on the road as a truck driver?
I've seen a lot of cool oversized loads going down the road throughout the years. Those are kind of really interesting to see. Um, I've seen some pretty bad accidents over the years, especially in the wintertime. I had one
Seems
instance
like
where I was down in
yeah.
Texas and this pickup truck went flying by me. So I jump on the radio. There was a group of trucks ahead of me. I don't know, probably about a couple hundred yards. I motioned to them, hey, watch out. There's this truck driving a radical. Next thing I know, he veers off to the right And then as soon as he gets past one of the truck, he veers. Or no, I'm sorry, he veered to the left, and then after he got past that truck, he veered to the right. Well, when he veered to the right, he did it so hard it put him into a slide. And when he caught traction, he veered back over to the left, and he tried to turn back to the right again to catch it again. Well, he never could get back under it and went down into the median and turned sideways and started rolling, doing barrel
Oh
rolls.
damn.
And at the same time, I'm hitting the shoulder, so I'm looking over to my passenger side to make sure no one's, I'm clear to get over. And there was a passenger, which I didn't realize, got ejected during that time I looked away
Ooh.
because I got stopped and the truck come to a stop. This guy gets out of the truck, starts running back like he's gonna run away from the scene. I was like, this guy's gonna run away. All of a sudden, he
Oh
hits
shit.
down to his knees, and that's when I seen her laying down. I was like, oh shit, that lady just got ejected.
Yeah, that would suck. Yeah, I remember one time I was coming out of Minneapolis in the winter and watched on US 169 South and watched a big truck jackknife in front of me and he had the highway tied up for quite a while and then miraculously he was able to get himself unstuck before authorities showed up. But yeah, it's
I
man, I've
almost put
seen
myself when I very first started driving over the road, which was that Trans Am. That was my first over the road driving
yeah.
job. I was out in, I want to say it was New Jersey. I was trying to pass this other truck, and so I went ahead and punched the accelerator just a little bit harder than what I was. Next thing I know, I'm starting to head toward into a jackknife. The only thing I
Oh
did is
damn.
correct what I did. I let off the accelerator just a little bit. Next thing I know, that thing whipped back straight, and the guy next to me is like, I have never seen anyone bring a truck back that far gone.
I
I was
remember
like,
what was
well,
it? Shane was telling us,
I know what I did to cause it,
right?
so I corrected what I did.
Yeah, I never actually quote jackknife, but I've had a trailer come out from behind me and start the jackknife. But I was out in Wyoming. I only had 4,500 pounds in the box, and I was on 80, and I came around the curve, and as I come around the curve, the wind caught my trailer, pushed it out about 5 degrees. Well, I put my foot in the throttle, and then my nose started swaying back and forth. Let out throttle. I'm like, oh fuck! Now I'm not gonna be able to make it up this hill. Luckily, I was able to make it up the hill, but that was an experience. And then Shane said our other brother, our middle brother, said that he had an experience. What was it on 70, just inside of Illinois, there from Indiana? That he was jackknifing. He was working for U.S. Express, and he said the guy got on the radio behind. He's like, "Hey, U.S., when you put it in the ditch, I'll take you to the truck stop." And he's like, "I'm not putting it in the ditch," and he actually saved it as well and stuff. And that I think a lot of that has to do with being in and around trucks all of our life, and I've got a so-called friend that he doesn't, he thinks we're super truckers and stuff, but he doesn't realize that if you grew up around it, you naturally more than people that never been around trucks, and
And I'm not
I
trying to
think
be a
being
smartass about it at all.
right. No, we're not. And I think he was
And we're definitely not better
jealous
than
that.
nobody at all either.
Oh no, oh no. But I think he was jealous that we carried ourselves to a higher standard because we knew more. There's that great saying: when much is given, when much is received, much is required, or whatever. Well,
Yeah.
we knew a lot about trucking and stuff, so we knew how to you know combat these situations and stuff. So, man, that got really dark on you over there. Did we lose you? I think we lost Justin. Are you there? Yep. I think we might have. Are you there, Justin? You can hear me? I can't hear you. No, no. I think we lost it Justin for a second here. Or at least his audio. So yeah, let's see if we can get him back on here. Well, there he is. Can you hear me? All right, talk. Yeah, I can hang on. Maybe if we do this, let's try to reconnect them. Alrighty, here. We're gonna boot you out for a second and then bring them back in. So wait once. I will say this is part of trucking, so bear with us here. So while we're waiting on Justin, I think that
Alrighty. Yeah, it's starting to get that way. Here's out my window.
yeah. Tell us where you're at.
I am on I-280 in Illinois.
Okay.
Just got done going through the scale.
No, that was probably a good time to pause for a second.
Right?
Or turn on a little light over your head or whatever so we can see you. Oh, there you go. Oh, that works.
That ain't my big light. I got a bigger light.
Well, I don't think you need the big light, just something enough to see him.
Or there's
So,
this one.
so yeah, that one probably worked better actually. So, anyways, like I was saying, if you're a truck driver with more than 1 year experience and you need a job, call Creek Carry at 1-800-998-2221 and use HORRI for the reference code and get a good paying job. Out of your career, Justin, what do you like to pull the best? What have you pulled throughout your career, and what do you like the best of?
I started off hauling, like I said, uh,
Grain,
grain,
yeah.
hopper bottom. And then I went to reefer, of course, Trans Am. It was okay, for what it was at the time. And then I got into flatbed. And then from flatbed, I got into step deck. And I actually like doing the flatbed step deck a lot better than anything else. I make more money on the flatbed step deck side, doing the oversized loads. And
Okay.
that's just my niche.
I wish I could do that, but because of my handicap, a lot of companies did not want me to do it because they viewed me as a liability. But being a company driver, I really didn't have a choice in it. So I have pulled a curtain side. I pulled a couple empty flatbeds, and but out of everything I pulled container, I pulled curtain side, and and the curtain side was actually loaded and stuff. But I think out of everything I pulled, I think I like the dry van the best. It's kind of like a flatbed except with walls and a ceiling, and doors. But
Boy, it is lightning like crazy here.
is it?
Yeah, it is.
So, how long have you been a? Okay, first of all, how long was your company driver?
I bet I was probably a company driver for 12, 13 years. And then I was a lease driver probably for, let's see, I know I was a lease driver for practically 2 years. And then I was at Trans Am, I did a 6 month and a 6 month. So there you might as well say was a year. So that's 3 years.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be 19 years next month behind the wheel, and I think I probably spent about 14, 15 years as a company driver. I spent a year or two as a lease purchase, which I'll never do that again. That was the dumbest thing I've ever done. The harder I ran,
Now
the less I made.
my last lease purchase, I was actually doing really good. I was actually doing flatbed. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we could hear you.
So I was working for MP Select, which was part of Montgomery. My dang kid keeps calling.
Well, he could hang on and stuff.
Oh, I know. That's why I keep ignoring it.
But uh, so yeah. So anyways, you said you worked for MT Select.
Which they are no longer in business. They've went out of business.
Yeah, but didn't they come back into business though? I mean, I started seeing some of their trucks running around.
So they're definitely, from what I understand, have tried to come back or have come back, but they're no longer running as Montgomery Transport. They're running as something else, and for the life of me, I cannot remember what the company name is.
Okay. So,
Not until I see one of their trucks, and then I know it.
right. So, what do you like? The best. Did you like your company driver days, or do you like being owner operator better?
I like being owner operator, but there's the clause. I also liked benefits from being a company driver,
Yeah.
like the insurance, my vacation time. Because my last company that I worked for, yes, it was one of the major carriers. I worked for um,
JB
JB
Hunt.
Hunt. I worked there for 2 years,
Hauling
and
bagels, right?
yep, I was on the Bimbo Bagel account, and that was one of the easiest jobs I've ever had. All I had to do is take the bagels from the bagel plant, take them to the warehouses, and sometimes I'd bring back empty trays. Other times, excuse me, other times I would bring back just an empty trailer. Now I am on I-74.
That's good.
It was one of the easiest jobs though that I've ever had. The biggest reason I quit it and become an owner operator again is because they put them
In
inward facing cameras and they started nitpicking at everything.
Trans
If I would
Am
look
did the same thing.
if I would look out the window too long or look down too long or close my eyes too long, which I don't do anyway, but that was one of the things that it watched for. The camera would say distracted driving, and they started dinging you for it.
Yeah. When
And then also JB Hunt is so bad with their camera system that if you pull over to the side of the road, even for an emergency, they were starting to fire their drivers. Even if you pull off onto an exit where it's safer to pull off, if you need to, you can't wait till you get to a rest area or whatever. Hey, you got to go sometimes.
Right.
So you pull off to the next exit you come up to, and next thing you know, bam, you're getting fired for pulling over on an exit because it's unsafe. It's like,
yeah,
no, that is not unsafe. That is safer than pulling over on the side of the road.
right. I
These big
totally
companies
agree.
got these damn college kids in there that think they know everything because they're college educated, which are fucking stupid. They don't have real world experience at all.
Yeah, they're book smart, not street smart, or in our case, interstate smart.
They think
But
just
yeah,
because they got a degree in some kind of bullshit, is what I'm going to call it, well, they could sit there and tell us how we can drive and how we can't drive. You know what I said to them? Bye bye, big brother. That's what I told them.
uh
You ain't
huh.
firing me for some stupid
You
shit.
know, when Trans Am put their cameras in, if you didn't get slowed down quick enough, when the speed limit changed from like 55 down to like 40 or 30, if you didn't slow down quick enough, they would bitch at you and shit. And then one time I had a car pull out in front of me. I was in Olathe, and I had to stop real quick because I got cut off. And they brought me and chewed me out. And I said, you know what? If you think you could drive this truck better than me, here's the keys, and you can just basically fuck off because I'm not going to allow a company to tell me how to run my truck. I'm the driver, you're the dispatcher. That's how that works. Because without us, they wouldn't have their job and stuff.
Exactly.
And it's really because of the drivers. If you want to, I don't care if you're an owner operator or several trucks or a mega fleet, it's the drivers that make the company,
Indeed.
and
Well,
stuff.
that's just like something I've noticed here lately with the Loves. Now, I'm not saying every Loves has been doing this, but I had my truck serviced here a while back, and I didn't realize that I didn't have a shower on my card. I thought I did, but when I got on the app and looked, I didn't have a shower. So I asked the shop, I was like, hey, can I get a shower? We don't just hand out showers. Like, I didn't ask you to hand me out a shower. I'm going to be paying for a service. So obviously, I'm going to get one for paying for the service. So then I was like, okay, no big deal. I went inside and asked the manager, and they would not give me a shower. I had to pay out of pocket if I wanted a shower. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I can remember a
That's
time,
greed.
there used to be a time out here where we can actually get a shower. Other drivers, if they seen you getting ready to pay for a shower, hey man, don't be paying for no damn shower. Here, have a shower on me. And I've personally done it myself. I've caught somebody getting ready to take pay for a shower, and I've told them the same thing. Don't be paying for a shower. I got your shower. I got plenty of points.
Right. Well, it's definitely becoming all for one and none. It's dog eat
They
dog
get
world.
these damn truck stops and everywhere else has got to realize they wouldn't be in business without us.
That's right. That is right. So, how long do you usually stay out on tour and stuff?
I'm usually, depending on where I'm running. If I'm running the East Coast, I might stay out for 2 weeks and then back home, or 1 week and then back home. Um, but if I'm going out west, usually I try to go as far as I can, make as much money as I can, and whenever I get home, I get home. I've stayed out for a month at a time, 30,
Yeah.
40 days before.
Oh yeah. Um. How do you like your dispatch? I mean, where you're working at, I mean, do you like the company that you work at and stuff? Did we lose you, or did his son or Jonathan call you? All right, you there? I think we lost the audio again. Can you hear me? All right. We can't hear you though. I'm assuming that was Jonathan. No, Shane. Um, Mom. All right, hang on. Let's redo this. All righty here. All righty. Oh, there you are.
Yep, I'm back.
I want to put your phone on Do Not Disturb
All
during
right.
these. Uh,
Yeah,
what'd you
Mom
tell her? You
tried to.
gone?
No, I ignored it.
Tell her. Oh, you ignored it?
Yeah,
All right. Yeah.
I am 64.
So, so, how are you managing expenses with your truck? I mean, what's the most you pay? You pay more in fuel and stuff, or what? And he's gone again. Must be in a bad area. So, yeah. You there? Oh, shit. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Hang on here. Let's read up Justin here. All right. Well, this will be an interesting first time with a guest show.
So I just go back to the old one and re-click on it, and it lets me come back in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's not a bad looking Peterbilt right there. I wouldn't go for the yellow, but
right.
I don't know.
I didn't know if you heard me before I lost my signal. I've got 62 miles to the house. I'm actually heading to the house, and my week is a bust. I
Yeah,
delivered
you.
out. I delivered out in Wyoming, Port of Rocks, which is over by Rock Springs before you get to Rock Springs, and we couldn't find a load that was worth hauling, so I deadheaded all the way back to Illinois out of Wyoming. Yeah, my fuel card never gets shut off. Yeah, no, because he also but was telling me, yeah, go ahead and deadhead back because I also had a maintenance appointment today at 7 a.m. I had to put my truck in the shop. I got all new bushings and alignment done
Where
and
did you have that done at?
pump tires. POMP
Yep.
apostrophe
I,
S.
yeah, I heard that, but where was that at?
Des Moines, Iowa.
Okay. So, tell our viewers a little bit about your job and stuff like that, the company and stuff you work for.
Well, I'm leased on to a company called BTI out of Des Moines, Iowa. They are a flatbed. So, well, nowadays it's all step deck. They have their company trucks. They are 389 Peterbilts, 18 speeds with the Cummins. Of course, they have all the DEF system and all. But they just ordered 3 brand new trucks.
Over $1 million.
No, not a million. $750,000 though.
Now, do they buy them or they lease them?
Oh no, they buy their trucks.
Okay.
And They order all of them 18 speeds, um, 565, I think it is, Cummins,
Okay.
and they're set, and they are governed at 70 miles an hour.
Well, that's good at
Um,
least.
I did drive one of their trucks here when my truck was down. They don't have none of that front radar bullshit or side radar. Now, the brand new trucks, I don't know if they're going to have any of that or not. I have no clue. But
Okay.
I don't think I'll have next time I run into the driver that has the current newest truck, I'll have to ask him if it has any of that stuff on it.
The
And I every time
589.
I yeah, he's got the 589 stand up bunk, and the company already said they're not going to buy any more of them because for what we do, it's just too heavy of a truck.
Oh, so how heavy is it?
Don't make a lot of sense to me, but it's only 300 pounds more, or maybe it's 400 pounds more than the flat tops. But 400 pounds when you're doing this freight that I haul, that could be a whole tire or, anything.
So what's the actual weight on it though? I mean,
I don't know what the weights are on them. I think they're
that
like 33, 34,000 empty.
well, that's with the trailer. So I think this truck
Yeah,
grosses out somewhere between 18 to 19,000. Plus, you got the trailer. Empty weighs like 34,000.
right.
Yeah,
Now my
but I
empty
got
weight is a lot less.
really. But your truck's pretty heavy though, isn't it? Being an international.
My truck's lighter than their trucks. I can gross more than them.
Okay, I know I could gross up to 45,000 in this truck,
I
and
think I can haul if I remember right, I think I can haul 47,000 where they can only haul 46, or maybe
okay.
it's something like that. Yeah, because
Okay, how has trucking changed in our career, Justin? And he froze.
I
All right, there you are. So, anyways,
in
how
case you
has
guys
trucking?
didn't, I
Yeah, go
am
ahead.
traveling down the road right now, so that's
Well,
probably
yeah.
why I keep losing my signal.
So, anyway, so how has trucking changed during our career?
Not for the good.
Not for the
There
good.
has there has been some good things and there's been some bad things, like the Obama break. Did we really need the Obama break?
No.
Do we really need to have a 30-minute break right in the middle of our day when we're going good? And then after you get out of that groove, then all of a sudden now you're tired because you had to take a 30-minute break. And, with the freight that I haul, I have a button on my log that I can deactivate that 30-minute break, but I have to have an oversized load to do it.
Yeah.
When
Yeah, we
I'm
don't have that
oversized,
option.
I do not have to take the 30-minute break.
Well, that's
And
good to
trust me,
know.
I use that to my advantage.
I bet you do. So yeah, I don't have that option, but yeah, I do. For the most part, I do run. You know, he might be able to run over his 8 consecutive hours. I can't. So I usually like to try to split it up, between 4 and 4 or whatever. But I do like to run at least a good 500 plus mile days. And I find that I can recap that throughout the rest of the next several weeks and stuff like that.
Now it's like
But
yesterday, I did 651 miles, I think is what it was.
I don't like to get too crazy on that because if I get too many hours, then it cuts me short. But usually about 5 to 550, I can recap that
No, no, no. I
after
was
that.
mistaken. It was 605. That's what it was. I did
Yeah.
605 yesterday. I started over there by about the 25 or 26 mile marker, somewhere in there in Nebraska, and I made it all the way from there to Des Moines, Iowa, to our terminal, and I got there 8:30 ish. Then I grabbed my shower bag, jumped in the shop truck, and went over there to Altoona and got me a shower.
Yeah, see, it's kind of nice working for a company that allows you to use the company vehicles, even though, I mean, we're contracted to
That's
them,
one thing. That is one thing that when I worked for MT Select, I could not stand. Even though
They
we
would
worked for Montgomery Transport,
they
they would
wouldn't let
not
you.
let us use any of the shop vehicles because we were owner operators. We had different insurance. It's like you guys are fucking retarded. We all have the same insurance.
Crete's the same way. They allow me to take the company vehicle, and go grab something to eat or whatever. Just that is the nice thing about it. Crete's not a perfect company, but I say they're a lot better than some of these mega carriers out here. They're not the biggest, they're not the smallest, they're pretty good size, but you know,
You don't want me to
I
pass.
I mean, I can definitely
I
make
got a
more money
car that.
elsewhere, but um, like Justin, how much money do you make at your job?
Do you want my like weekly average or my yearly so far?
Just whatever you want to
So
throw
I
out
was actually
there.
asking dispatch 88,000 or something like that for the year in miles.
Yeah,
But with all my checks and everything, my weekly average is $5,000 a week.
that's pretty decent. Yeah, I said
Huh?
that's pretty decent.
Yeah, average weekly pay is 5,000. Even though my actual weekly pay is not 5,000, but it breaks down to that's what it is.
So, what do you make on the trips?
So I get paid 79% of the gross pay per trip.
So whatever that trip pays, you get 79% of it. Where I am on the sliding pay scale, and it goes from a buck 91 to $1.32.
Now I did do an oversized load here. It was from Illinois to Iowa, so it was just a short hop. It paid me $6.60 a mile.
Really, 660 a mile. That's pretty damn good. Better than I would ever make
Yep.
here at Crete. So, why I want you to tell this story. This shit's some funny shit. Tell us the story of how you soaked some stranger as a kid in a truck stop.
I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I don't even remember how old I was, but I was on the road with my dad, and I looked at my bottle of Coke, and I was like, I need to shake this up. I stick my fucking thumb in the bottle, shake it up, then I'm going, shit, how am I going to get my thumb out without spraying it? So next thing I know, I just start pulling it out slowly, and it starts spraying everywhere, all over the guy next to us. I'm going, oh shit! The guy literally starts laughing his ass off. I'm going, no, 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 don't worry about it. My dad yelled, hey, quit that shit!
Yeah, you probably took
Uh,
a brick on that one. So, and
yeah.
then there's another one. Do you remember it about when you was on that little cruise or whatever, and they was talking about the Civil War?
Yeah, they're like, we all know what happened at the end. And of course, I just got out of the grade where we got done talking about the Civil War. So I was like, raise my hand as a kid in this little reenactment or tour. I think that's what it was, as a tour. And the lady or guy or whoever it was picks on me. I was like, yeah, the North come down to the South and kicked the South's ass. I remember that to this day, saying that.
that is hilarious.
It's like, what? We learned that in school. Which wasn't a
Yeah,
lie. I learned it in
yeah.
school.
Probably not that brutally, but it's hilarious. Would you
There was
recommend?
people that laughed, and there was people that scowled, and
No, I bet. I bet. You still got those people. The South will rise again. Would you recommend driving a truck to anybody, Justin, in today's world?
I'd have to say yes and no. There's good things about it, and there's bad things about it. So it's just, can you handle it? That's the biggest question.
I really think that it's not a matter of whether or not you would recommend it. It really boils down to can the person handle the job itself? Because we all know, and
It's
like I
not
said,
an easy job.
no, it's
I
not.
mean, and then at the same time, it is an easy job. It's all on perspective. How do
Right.
you handle being away from your family? That's the hardest part, is
So
being away from your family.
I will go as far as this. If you're not mentally stable in your own mind, don't do trucking because you got a lot of guys out there. Oh, your mind's going to turn on you. In 19 years, I've never had my mind. Yeah, I've had ups and I've had downs at home, that bother me, but my mind never, quote, turned on me. And I think that has a lot to do with us growing up around the industry, knowing what we are already getting into, knowing the lifestyle. We already living
Right.
it. So for us, being out here by ourselves is not a problem, where a lot of people, oh, I feel lonely
See how
and
dark it is now?
oh yeah, yeah,
There's
it's
the
still
moon.
daylight. Yeah, it's still daylight here. So yeah, so I really think it boils down to the mentality of the person getting the job. If they've never been around
I
trucking,
agree. Yes.
and I think this is why a lot of military personnel seek trucking because they're used to,
It,
something to that effect. They might be on their own and stuff, but they're used to it where your average civilian, it's just, some can do it and some can't. And I 100% recommend truck driving if you could handle it, but not a lot of
yes.
people can handle this job. Is becoming an owner operator still worth it to you, Justin?
That's another clause. You got to find a company where you're actually going to make money. And in today's trucks, though, if you're not buying a brand new truck, I would say not necessarily, because you need the brand new truck because you need the warranty. The warranty is what's going to break a driver. If you don't have warranty and you constantly are breaking down, then don't get me wrong, there are some brand new lemons. But,
Oh yeah.
you know, like Richard, his truck's way newer than mine. He's got the DEF system on it. He's got that whole. You got the adaptive cruise and all that crap on your truck, don't you?
So what I got is a old Crete carrier truck, and yes, it's got everything the Crete ordered. So that'd be the adaptive cruise, the out the idle, the
Lane
depth
assist.
system. I wouldn't. I mean, I got it, but it's not like so. The newer trucks, it'll actually force you to stay in the lane. It's kind of like it's
Ah,
almost
okay.
driving itself. I don't have that, but what I do have is the lane
Yeah.
departure warning of that system. So if I get too
Okay,
close to
yes.
like
Now,
the
see,
pause
I
line
have
or the
had a truck
center
when I was a
line,
lease operator.
and to me those
My
trucks are
truck had that
dangerous
well.
because I just think they're just
Now,
too dangerous.
yes,
I
I
like
have an older
controlling
truck.
it.
I have a 2007 International. I don't have none of that stuff. No regen, no nothing. But here's the clause to that. I do spend a lot of money in maintenance. But in order to keep this old dinosaur going down the road, I have to. Otherwise, I have no job.
True. Where I mean I'm in the shop a lot too, but my first truck was an '07 International 9400i, and I don't know. I was 2 months in, and I threw a rod, and what do you do, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, but
And
like I
buying an older
said,
truck, you're taking a gamble. You
oh
don't
yeah,
know how that original owner drove this truck. You don't know how it was maintenance. And just like your case, you literally got fucked over.
and then some. But where this is what I think makes a true owner operator between a company driver and somebody. A lot of people in my position would have given up. They would have said, "Fuck it, it's not for me. I can't handle it," and they would have walked away. They would have paid the truck off or filed bankruptcy and said, "Nope,
Sold it.
being an owner."
Yeah.
And I tried to think about it, but once I realized how bad off it was, I just got rid of it. It's like it's not worth it. But I never had the mentality of, okay, I'm done being an owner operator. I regrouped, I paid it off, and I started saving my money up. But this time with the caveat of buying a lot newer
Now
truck.
there was a time for a little while where the economy wasn't good to be a owner operator. It wasn't in
Yeah,
our favor.
right. And I bided my time, and I said, if Trump got back into office, I'm definitely buying a truck. Well, guess what? Trump's back in office, and said, this is my time to buy another truck. And it wasn't as strong as it is now, but um, I think this last year has been my best year as a driver. Would I ever go back to driving a company truck? I would say no. I mean, if I absolutely had to, probably, but right now, no. I would figure out a way to get another truck, and then I would keep being an owner operator because I have too much freedom being an owner operator. I'm able to choose
And
the jobs I want to do. And that's the
that is
biggest
the
reason
one nice
why,
thing about being an
yeah.
owner operator is you definitely have more freedoms. You could set your own governor on your truck if you want a governor.
So,
But you got to think the faster you run, the more fuel you burn. So that you got to keep that in
yes and
mind.
no. So, I've done my research on this, and that's only true to an extent. I have found the faster you run, up to at least 70, 75, your truck does not work as hard and uses less fuel to maintain those
True.
speeds than
Very
if it
true.
was. Now, if you go over 75, maybe the aerodynamics might eat into that. But you really don't even need to go past 75, really. 75 is plenty fast for an 18 wheeler.
Now, when I go out west, I don't even run that fast. My truck is wide open. My average speed, even when I'm out west, is 72 miles an hour. Now, once in a blue moon, if I want to hurry up and get somewhere, I might run 75 for a few minutes, but I don't
But
sit there and do it all day.
the nice thing about having a wide open truck is you can actually pass these people that are screwing with you.
Yes. And oh my gosh, I do it all the time, and I put that driver in his place for trying to race me. I get in front of him, and I just slowly start slowing down. And then when he tries to go around me, I play his game for
Oh
not very
yeah,
long. I don't do it very long, but I do it long enough for him to realize, don't be messing with me because I could put your ass in the ditch.
that's right. That is right. I mean, we're out here to make money, not play your stupid little games and stuff. So, I
Just
I
like the
would
other
say
day, I was going down the road. I had my oversized load on. I was passing this slower truck, and we are starting to go through hills. So, I'm slowing down a little bit because I am heavy. And this foreign driver decides he wants to be a complete asshat, puts his arms up and everything else, like, what's wrong? Can't you pass me? It's like, well, we kind of are going through hills. He literally gets in front of me, and his trailer wasn't even all the way past me. I had to stand on the brakes so he didn't tear my damn hood off. He literally just went right over in front of me. It's like, wow.
those are the drivers that need to be drug out and shot because they are a danger to the industry. And I really think, oh yeah, I would say that. Oh, I bet not. But I would say that for yeah, yeah, I could hear you. You must have been going through a rough patch there.
In about a mile and a half, I'm getting ready to turn off the 97.
Well, with that being said, we've been doing this for basically an hour. Um, so I think we're gonna start wrapping this up. After everything you've seen in trucking, you had to if you had to start all over to become a truck driver, would you?
I would say yes because in all the jobs growing up to the job I have today, now some people might think I'm nuts for saying this. This is the easiest job to get money in. You could
Well,
go to work, and at the end of that work week, well, not when you very first start, but 2 weeks usually on your average for most companies, you'll get your first paycheck. But it is the easiest career and the easiest job to make money in.
okay.
You, in my opinion.
So with that
But
being
I'm good
said,
at it. You know,
yeah, no,
I'm not saying I'm not saying that I'm the greatest at it, but I know I'm good at my job.
I would have to agree with you on that one. I'm damn good at what I do, and I don't want to toot my horn, but I feel that because I grew up in the industry, and I really applied myself. I mean, I'm careful at what I do. We all make mistakes, but I feel that, and you can even ask my wife on this. She'll tell you I'm damn good at what I do. I could put my truck into places that most people can't even put a fucking car.
Right.
And I think as a driver has to be damn good at what we do because if you're not, you're really asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble, and you got to get good at the job or get out.
Very true. And you always have to be on your edge and constantly watching traffic. And that's another thing. As long
You
as we've
got to
been
learn
out
to
here,
read.
you learn to read the traffic. You could tell
Yes,
that somebody's getting ready to do something before they do it.
there was a dash
Just
cam
by how
footage
they're
I had. I had dash cam footage one time. I was out here in Denver I was on I-70 leaving town. I had this little pickup, and I had a gut instinct as he was coming up next to me. I was like, "This guy's gonna cut me off." I just had that feeling. Well, no sooner than he got up there next to my nose, and he probably not even 100 feet from the nose, probably not even that. Something just told me back out of it, and as soon as I back out of it, he came over less than 100 feet in front of me. So I had posted the footage. We have a creek carrier drivers got together and put up a drive dash cam footage group, and I posted that, and they're all congratulating. Wow, really? Congratulations on reading the traffic. I'm like, yeah, you could tell he was itching to get over just by the way the vehicle was acting. He was wanting to get over. So
oh yeah.
yeah. But well, we appreciate you coming on with Trucking with the Hook podcast. We'll have to bring you on again. We've been doing it for 63 minutes now, so yeah, so pretty much an hour. Uh,
I'm gonna toot my own
before we
horn.
go, I know, right? So if there's anybody watching, you want to say anything, have a question, put it in the comments, and then if not, we'll let them go. But so yeah,
Glad y'all got to see me.
yeah. So let's see here. Let's see what if there's anything in the comments. Try to make the comments a lot visible. Well, I don't think we have any comments because there's nothing's coming up. So, well, with that being said, if you want to be our next guest, shoot me a message. If not, we'll catch Justin later. Maybe he'll be back on the show at another time. And this is Richard with Trucking with the Hook podcast. See you next Friday for episode 5. Later.
Keep the sun.
Reset. We'll catch you on the flip side. We gone. Bye bye.